welcome back to my channel. I'm Auntie Tay. If you guys don't know who I am, that is me, and I put up videos Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays, and today we're talking about these guys. We're gonna be making Dreamcatcher Mickey ears. Now, let me tell you, this tutorial is not gonna just be for Mickey ears. You can also just make Dreamcatchers this way. So I'm gonna show you the technique that I used and also show you how I created them into Mickey ears. If you guys wanna see the other Mickey ears that we have created for this series that is going forth, they'll be up on Wednesdays. Check out the 50 Mickey ear ideas so you can get a preview of all the other tutorials I have coming and or tutorials I already had on my channel. So check that out and let's get going.
Alright guys, so to get started with our ears, I'm actually going to tape the ears down to the table or surface, whatever I'm using, so that they don't move around, so that I can tie all around this and make it how it is. If you are wondering how I made the wire ears, you can check out my wire ear tutorial and my template on my blog. Otherwise, I'm just showing you how we are going to make the Dreamcatcher portion of the ears. So once our ears are set to go, these beads, I actually didn't have enough, so I just kind of put a little dab of hot glue on the wire and tied my string. I'm just using embroidery thread for this, to the end of that, so the beads would not go over. Plus, I was planning to cover that with a bow when I was all done with these. So this is just a basic Dreamcatcher, and the nice thing about the beads is you don't have to tie knots. You can just kind of wrap the twine around it twice in between the beads, and it'll hold perfectly good. So I'm just going to go about a fifth of the way in, and then wrap, and then go another fifth of the way in and wrap, and then I'm going to continue to do that until I get to the end of the beads. So you'll notice I did 3 times by the time I got to the end of the beads, and then I will have to do this on the headband, so you might want to be prepared to tie it when you get to the headband. Okay, so once we're done with the beads, we're going to move over to the headband portion, and I'm just gonna go right to about the halfway mark, and I'm gonna put a dab of hot glue and let that dry. And then what that will do is just hold that, and I like to rub the hot glue on top of the thread so that it stays. And then I'm just going to untape this so that I can go underneath it now, and leave the other 2 pieces of tape on. So I'm just gonna slowly slide that underneath and then pull the thread through. And then I only like to work with as much thread as I think I'm going to need, because I don't want to use the entire roll of embroidery thread, because I feel like that would get super tangled. So I'm going to do that 2 times, and then I'm going to tie a little knot by just kind of going under the other little portion, and what that'll do is create just like a little tie so that it won't slip and slide around. So now I'm going to do it around the piece of wire the same way I did it, and then all we're gonna do is go around in between all of the edges. So I've seen this done to where you make a little knot, but I found that this was super easy and it worked really good, especially for if you wanted to pull it tighter when you got to the center. So you just kind of go around, and then once there's the new triangles and you've made your way around the complete circle, you just kind of find your way through and shove the little ball of extra thread through it, and then you'll find that it gets really easy, except when you get to the middle, the little triangles get harder to find. So the more you do it, the more you'll realize where those little triangles are going to show up, and you'll get used to it. So you can go all the way around multiple times until you have a tiny little hole, or you can just kind of create a Dreamcatcher like this and stop with kind of a bigger hole in the center, depending on how big you want it. I just wanted it kind of to give you the idea that it was a Dreamcatcher. I didn't want to have a super tiny hole in the center, so I just kind of went until I couldn't go anymore with this big blob of thread, and then I pulled it until it was pretty close to being closed in the center. And then all I did was pulled it tight, and I'm going to cut this string off. And then you can tie a little knot on this, or you could just do a little dab of hot glue, which is kind of my favorite because then I don't have to sit and work with little tiny knots. And then you can cut the little excess off if you want. Otherwise, we're going to kind of cover that with our bow. And then I'm just going to hot glue little beads on. You can put these on as you're going or like string them on, but I thought it was easier just to hot glue them at the end because I didn't want to have to finick around with like getting the beads on the string and things like that. So if you want these to really stay, make sure you use a good hot glue.